Tag and Brag Nation and Goose Chasers, welcome to episode number 98. 9-8. We're gaining on a hundy, and we are in camp in Kansas for Scrape Week. This week's episode is brought to you by Code Blue. Some of our favorite products from Code Blue that we are putting out in the wilderness right now are the Scrape Mate, the Pre-Orbital, the Rope-A-Dope. All of our focus right now is around whitetail scrapes, in and around the bedding area or in and around food sources. That's where we're hanging tree stands. That's where we're hanging our trail cameras. That's where we're putting out our Code Blue scents in order to ambush these whitetails. So for all of our favorite products, go to codebluescents.com. Use code TAGANDBRAG at checkout for 15% off anything on your order. And follow Code Blue on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And without further ado, boys, we got a special guest in the house. Uncle Jay is sitting here with us because he has a coveted Kansas tag in his pocket. How's it feel?
Well, feels pretty damn good. It's been a challenging week, but we've grinded through it. It's hard to believe that the time is already here and that we are pursuing Kansas whitetails. It's definitely one of my bucket list items. And I'm just every day, the anticipation, the adrenaline, just walking in and getting ready has just been awesome. I mean, this is kind of a dream come true. I know that a lot of guys hunt, get out here fairly frequently, but I'm a family guy, kids first, mama first, and so pretty blessed to get the time to get away, let alone a week, and it's been pretty special.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna dedicate a week to whitetails throughout the season, I mean, this is probably one of the top 3 weeks, if not the top week, I think, because the bucks right now are ready. They're searching. They're on it. They want somebody to be receptive, and most of the does, I would say probably 95% of the does, are not. So it's provoking a lot of daylight buck activity, and it's just an exciting time.
You just got to be on your game at all times. I mean, I've got buddies of mine that week leading up to Halloween is everybody's favorite, or a lot of hunters' favorite, because they know it just finally gets the big bucks. The October lull is passing. Those that are experiencing that, and it's a matter of just that one lucky buck that you're after, getting out of his bed and taking a cruise.
Yeah, every night we've been here, and even on our Moultrie cameras back home in Ohio, Tennessee, New York, it seems like every night there's like a new buck showing up on the scrapes. Yeah. It just shows you what their mentality. They're starting to get outside of their core areas. They're letting people know that they're there, and they're hitting their communication spots and hitting these scrapes, and you can just tell that when you get those photos of bucks you haven't seen before, they're looking for that first doe to come in, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now here in Kansas. Yeah, and I think that's where like the combo of the Pre-Orbital and the Scrape Mate come in and play such a factor, because that is telling the local bucks, essentially, when you put the Pre-Orbital on the licking branches and then when you put the Scrape Mate in the scrapes, that's essentially telling the local bucks that there's a new buck that's traveling in their area. And the mature ones, that will provoke them to start roaming more. It will. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it all over here. I mean, doctored up scrapes, at the home farm in New York before we left here, and arguably maybe shouldn't have done that because we provoked a lot of activity as we left.
And left Pops in camp.
Yeah, and he left my dad in camp by himself unattended, which is a very scary
scary thought, but that's where these scents come in. That's when I like to use them the most is like right now when the bucks are actively searching and there's not that many does that are receptive because they're alone right now. You know, once they get with a doe or two, it's like they kind of go from doe to doe to doe, and they can be on lockdown for a couple days at a time. But right now, during this week, they're alone, they're looking, and you can get under their craw a little bit and provoke some daylight activity. And I don't know, I love this time of year for sitting in the stand, and you're starting to extend your sits a little bit longer and longer right now, and you just never know. Now is the time where you just got to be there because you never know what could happen.
You're provoking him to frequent that scrape more than he already does, which, you know, could have been every 3, 4, or 5 days. Sometimes you're looking at your cameras and it's, you know, it's getting up into that peak period where it's getting closer. And now that he knows somebody's on his turf, it's getting under his skin to, I need to go check my scrapes, check my does, and get him on his feet. And we've seen it foolproof. It happens.
Some of the big deer that we've got on camera here in Kansas that we put pre-orbital and scrape made out, you can tell some of the smaller bucks, you know, they'll go up and hit the scrape, but some of these bigger bucks are like aggressive.
On their hind legs.
They are. And they're hammering the licking branch, like they're making sure everything they got is staying on that branch and in the scrape. So you know that's when they're like, it's affecting them, that they know that someone else is in their wheelhouse, I think. Yeah,
it's when you can start to kind of read the deer language and stuff, it's awesome because you could tell that you're getting to them. Whether you get a shot or not, you know, shot opportunity or not is yet to be seen, but you're getting to their core and they don't like it.
Or you hunt with a little bit more optimism, especially when you're hunting over that particular scrape. Because you know he's been there the night before, he's been there, you know, maybe an hour before morning that particular day, so he's arguably close, and you're just waiting for that next lap for him to come back and say, you know, have the does done their thing? Is there somebody receptive, or is my neighbor in town and he's invading my space, and he'll clear that again, and you're hoping for that shot opportunity.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun. It's a whole different. You transition off that food to a whole different direction and mindset of which way is he going to come from, and you're expecting him to come to that spot.
Yeah, the chess match gets a little bit more. I don't know. You're not just going to a food source and sitting there and waiting for the deer to come out and feed. Like now, I mean, he could really come from anywhere, and you're provoking him to the point where, I mean, yeah, the chess match just gets far more intense.
Piss him off.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for lack of a better term, yeah.
I've noticed too. You see the difference in. We've been watching our cameras, you know, in New York, Ohio, and here. It seems like here, it's very close, but it's happening, you know, a few days after.
Yep.
We saw like last week in New York, obviously we had really good weather up there, but these bucks were cruising and they were hitting scrapes. And now a few of the bucks, mature bucks that we had on camera there, it's like you haven't seen them in a couple days. Like they might be on a doe.
No, they're definitely on a doe already, yeah.
And you're just starting to see that now in Kansas. You're seeing these bucks pop up on the scrapes or hitting their scrapes. So I think it's just, obviously it's geographical how this is happening, and some of it's weather. Like we have not had great weather here to start our Kansas trip. Just in general deer movement weather, it's been rainy, low pressure, and you see the difference when it's been up in New York. It's been high pressure, sunny. Like you get these partly cloudy days, and those deer are cruising.
Yeah, they're on their feet. And even still, I mean, here I've been surprised. Like we've been sitting in a downpour or two, and the deer are still on their feet. And like the first night that we sat, or maybe first or second night that we sat, we had just hung a stand. We doctored up the one scrape with scrape mate and pre-orbital. And the one doe, first set of doe that came in, she got downwind of that scrape and literally stopped on a dime. And then she went to the scrape and was like in the licking branches and peed on the scrape and like it like provoked her to do her thing. So it's not just with the bucks, like you're just provoking like the rut activity in the area. That I don't know, observing that firsthand was pretty awesome to me. But I mean, it's here. The scrape week is here. You gotta, if you've got active scrapes, you've got to be sitting on them close to food sources, and really just it's extending your time in a tree now, because it literally could happen at any moment. We've seen it up in New York, like Dean said. We've had bucks on scrapes 11 o'clock, 11:30, noon, middle of the day now. So it's like, it's not too early to start extending your sits, or if you got the right weather and it's comfortable enough and whatever, sit all day.
Yeah. And definitely that mid-morning time we've seen scrape activity. A lot of people are, some people don't hunt mornings a lot of October, but now is definitely the time where you want to get in the woods, because we've, like you said, we've had a lot of daylight activity, and not just at first light. It's been well into the morning when bucks are up cruising and looking and checking their scrapes.
Well, we're days from November, so you might as well pack a sandwich if you can afford to be in the woods all day.
Yeah,
or you got to come out for as little time as you can and get back in, because it's just a matter of time. I would say if you're not finding scrapes, but you got food sources or fields, take a lap around your field. Look at the overhanging branches. You will find scrapes on the overhanging branches and the scrape on the ground. You got to find that communication source, and put a camera on it. Move your cameras around. Don't be afraid to throw your Moultries on a new tree or a new spot. We get so programmed and conditioned on what has happened in the past, even though they will use the same scrapes. But you may have a true new buck in the area that decides to start something new, and it changes course a little bit. But you can find that activity. Do spend some time to due diligence, and it'll better your hunt.
Yeah, I mean, and you can provoke that activity by just, if you don't find a scrape or see one, get on a food source or get on a trail that a main trail or whatever, and make your own.
Make one.
I mean, make like Uncle Jay said, there's new bucks coming into the area that are going to make one regardless. So be that buck.
Yeah.
Be the new sheriff and make it. And at that point, you've got to move a camera to see. You've got to be able to monitor that, because it's any time of day, any time of night. And if you start monitoring your cameras, and then all of a sudden that scrape activity or the buck activity on that scrape starts to pick up a little bit, I mean, there's your sign. Go hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done that a couple times this week. Walked around a field and just haven't found what we wanted to in terms of like a massive scrape. So we're like, you know what, let's
2
start
days
one
ago.
right here.
Yeah.
And a handful of bucks have already hit that, and aggressively.
Yeah. The one, there was kind of like 2 overhanging branches. The one seemed like it was like a little high, and Dean and I took it and broke it off and stuck it straight down, because we didn't have a rope-a-dope with us. And like, you kind of put it right in their face, essentially, and put that pre-orbital on there. And there was a couple bucks that were on their hind legs already, just getting after it.
Yep.
Which is cool. It's cool to see. That was within 12 hours of us doing that.
Oh yeah.
So, it's time.
That's when you know they're in their seeking phase.
Yeah.
You're triggering them. You're trying to find that piece of the puzzle to get them to stick around, get them to be in the scrape that you make, or the scrape that is the community scrape. Yeah, it's pretty fun, and when it starts to come together, then it's worth your time and efforts.
Yeah, not to mention just watching the Moultrie videos. I don't know, it's so entertaining being able to see what deer do to these scrapes, and getting the different bucks on scrapes, and just getting all that. I don't know, I just love it. It's addicting to watch these cameras and just see how these bucks react to these scrapes and how often they're hitting them, and yeah, the different ones that are showing up.
Yeah, and then you just start, I don't know, my brain just goes to start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Like, where's this scrape in conjunction to the food source? Is it on the food source? Like, what direction is he coming into the camera? You know, and then you can kind of start piecing, okay, this is where he came from. That's probably, you know, he's got to be bedding in this vicinity. And you kind of work your way back to where you think he's bedding. And if that's what you need to get closer to, you know, to get him in daylight, or if he's on daylight, then that's a whole different ball game. But it just, yeah, you can utilize these trail cameras in the sun's and stuff as a game almost, you know, to set your trap. And it's just fun. Being out here in Kansas is like, it's an amplified version because there's so many damn deer out here and so many bucks. It's like, it's a whitetail hunter's paradise and playground. I mean, it's from where we all grew up hunting in Western New York and watching like the monster bucks and, you know, some of these, all of our favorite old TV show hosts from back in the day. Kansas was always a place that all three of us were like, we've got to experience that, because it seemed like it wasn't real. Yeah. That wasn't how we experienced hunting. And I don't know, we've been saying it all week. Uncle Jay's been saying it all week for sure, because Dean and I have done this a couple times, but we're living a dream right now. And you got to pinch yourself sometimes, like all three of us are in Kansas, you know. It's not like this is a solo trip or one of us gets to go and whatever. Like, all three of us are getting to experience something that we used to watch on TV and be enamored by, and we're in the middle of it. And
good thing we like each other. Most of the time. Yeah, it's pretty special. The other thing I think that is really underrated, as far as clues, is when you set up your Moultries, the positioning of them on a trail or on that scrape is noting which direction that buck actually enters the picture and where he's come from, because you could tend to take that clue and physically walk backwards, if you will, not yourself backwards, but in the frame of the buck and where he's coming from, because there may be another scrape or a piece of the puzzle behind where he came from. Sure. and where he's going, whether it's a bedding area, food source, and so forth. And then I'm always looking for that magical, perfect tree. You know, as you're looking to set up a stand, you know, I like trees that split, that have a few arms of branches, you know, to cover you up. But look for that little nest egg of a tree to set up, and if it's within range of that scrape, even better.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why this time of year, our cameras are on video mode. Yes. Because you can, you know, not only do you want to know when that buck is hitting, or any buck is hitting that scrape, but it's being able to read their body language and their personality, I guess, when they're there, and be able to see what direction are they coming from? Where do they go after that? You know, and it's only a 15 to 20 second video, but you can learn a lot in that amount of time.
Yeah, it's amazing how many times from a picture and which way the buck's facing, you think you have the picture painted of, oh, he came from that way, and then you watch a video, and not only does maybe he leave going the same way or he enters a different way than you thought, but maybe there's another buck in the background or behind them that you would have never seen with one photo. You know? Right. And we've seen this so many times. We've seen this even with a blank photo. Hey, let's request the video just for the hell of it, because it's a doe that went by and a buck's right behind her, and you would have never known any of that happened with just a photo. So it's definitely an important time of year to have your cameras on video mode.
Clark Jr. is a perfect example of coming to hit a scrape and then going back to where he came from. Yeah. Saw him in the morning, first thing, heard him grunting up a storm, chased his does around, didn't find what he wanted, and came back to hit the scrape at 30 yards from me. And, of course, that was in the story after that. Yeah. But he came back to check the scrape and do his thing to get a picture of what his woods and what his does were doing.
Was here,
Yeah, I mean, Well, and like you said, you got a blank photo. It was a doe running through, and then but it's on a scrape, and all of a sudden the buck's right behind her, and he literally comes into the frame and makes a scrape right on camera.
Yeah.
And on a picture or a video that you would have never checked.
Right.
It doesn't, I don't see any horns. I don't even see a deer sometimes.
Right.
Or maybe you catch a tail.
It's the demeanor too. We just did this a couple days ago up at camp in New York. You can see at the edge of the food plot a few doe are like, tails down and they're scattering. It's like something's causing that.
Right.
But you can't see any buck in the background, but we request the video and one of our shooters is
there's 2 videos that I just requested from camp today. One on the ridge on a scrape and the other one by our cabin plot on a scrape. And there's a doe that is literally running right at the camera in both with her mouth wide open and her tongue hanging out. I'm like, who's behind her? It's probably the same buck. It's probably the same doe that was just doing loops, but somebody's behind her. She's not just running around by herself. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's video mode is it right now for sure. For sure. What else? Come on, we're in Kansas, boys. How do you feel? What's the optimism going into tonight's hunt? Going to get wet again?
We are going to get wet again. Despite that, it feels very optimistic. But yeah, when you're filming and stuff, that's got to be the hardest part. Is like, how do
the most annoying part is filming in this.
Because honestly, going in the rain, if it's just you and your bow, it's not that big of a deal.
No, I agree.
You'll take it, but you got to make a plan for how am I going to be able to film this? How am I going to keep these cameras dry while it's raining or until I need to film? It adds another like stress, just whole dynamic to the hunt that you have to figure out. And most people are probably just like, I'm not going to film tonight.
Right. Well, we don't have that luxury even would want to do that, but
right.
I will say, some of the places that I've hunted here this week, we haven't had, maybe camera intel for a few days or whatnot, but the anticipation has been high.
Oh my gosh,
every time because you just don't know. I mean, again, it sounds cliche, but Kansas, and we've gotten pictures up until and told about this property and this corner and this setup, but you go in with a different sort of adrenaline, and I've kind of had to talk myself down and coach myself off to that. So, when that moment comes, that you're ready to fling and not over fling, which I've been known to do. But you enter the woods knowing that any given sit, especially this time of year, could turn into something magical.
Yeah. No, it's amazing how many, even having cameras out on a property, how many either daily new bucks are showing up, or just being in the tree, seeing a buck that you're like, we don't have that one on camera.
Right.
Or even Parker's we've been here in October and December. It's happened both times, numerous. I haven't seen that deer in a year or 2 years or whatever. We don't have him on camera, but he's right there. It's that happens so much out here in Kansas. The age structure is there,
totally different.
There's just so many bucks that are interacting, and you'll see them. And like I said, you can't just bank on the camera. I know who's here and I know who's not. Anything can happen when you're in Kansas. It really can, especially this time of year.
Yeah, and in any weather and at any moment. I mean, we've been here in 90-degree weather, and there's been deer walking around hitting scrapes, and this week it's been raining like crazy, and there's deer walking around hitting scrapes. It just doesn't. Yeah, I mean, there's so many more deer and so many less people, and I think that's what you kind of grasp. Here in Kansas, we're in their world, they're not in ours, and it's different. Even Tennessee, Ohio, New York, it doesn't. You get out into the rural areas, it doesn't matter. You're still there. The deer are still with us in those places, and here it just feels like you're on their turf, and there's a lot more of them, and it could literally break open at any moment.
You're not hearing the noises and the sounds, the leaf blowers and the mowers, and,
Right.
and the, you know, the
neighborly.
neighborly activity. Even at camp, I mean, it's fairly isolated, but there's still
Roads.
tractors and roads and cars. I mean, here we travel, you know, properties are within 15, 20 minutes that we hunt, and you're on a gravel road for miles.
Yeah.
And then you make a right turn on another gravel road for another mile or two, and then another turn on a gravel road. You know, there's no traffic. We sat, you know, the last few nights in certain spots that are within viewing of the road, and no cars go by. I mean, literally
In
no
hours.
cars. It's I'm like, nobody lives out here. Nobody's, you know, who decided to put the road out here anyway, other than just for access. So yeah, that to me is special, because when you go back home, and again, it's nice to be on your home turf because you're intimate with the land and trees, and you know it so well. But those special nights that you get in the tree and it's quiet and nobody's doing yard work and nobody's, you know, haying a field or running a combine or doing things within a few miles vicinity, and it's you and the woods and the deer, and it's very quiet and it's very peaceful.
Yeah, it is just it's a different feeling out here.
Different beast, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a different feeling, and I like it. I don't even have a tag in my pocket, and I like it.
We like that you don't have a tag.
He's too drug me out here just to run a camera and get soaking wet for nights in a row.
You've done a hell of a job. We're very proud of you. You haven't forgotten to hit record once yet.
No, not yet, but there's still time, so don't jinx it. Oh man, don't say that.
That's why we have 4 cameras in every tree.
Literally, part of the reason we
Shit.
haven't hit record a time or two in our day.
No, and all kidding aside, and everybody wants to always have a tag, which is obviously not possible. But I am grateful because I like the mojo change. I mean, there's a chemistry. I know that you guys feel it, and I've witnessed that on some of your other hunts that I haven't been around. You know, we self-film, we self-hunt, and then once in a while, when it gets tough, you got to bring your energy together to bring the morale and the enthusiasm and everything up. And that's what I get, because we've hunted just like that. I've gone 3 or 4 hunts, rolling the dice myself, and then, okay, I get Davey in my back pocket, and it's just nice to be in a tree and kind of forecast what's going to happen and hope that something happens, but also have that, you know, just a little bit of a morale boost. I don't know if it's morale per se,
It's
but
just
just the energy.
Yeah. And it's not like you're just throwing some, and I'm talking because I'm the cameraman, but like it would be the same if I had a tag and either one of you were filming or whatever. Like it's not easy just to throw some random person in a tree with you with a camera and then expect to get something productive and quality on film or something that feels authentic, because there's a charisma, like there's a charisma involved in all of this, and there's like, it is energy, but knowing what you're going to do or Dean's going to do in the moment. I mean, we've been hunting together for 30 plus years of my life at least. So it's like a glove kind of, it just fits, and you like, I know what Uncle Jay's going to do in the moment, or at least I think. He's thrown me a few curveballs in the past.
That's the idea.
but in all seriousness, like, there's communication without communication in the moment. The moment is so intense, and once again, like, you can't, like, just throwing somebody random over your shoulder. At least for me as the hunter, I'm always like, are they on the deer? Like, is it recording? Are we good? Like,
why are they doing this?
Why are they shuffling their feet back there? What's going on? I can hear stuff going on, but I can't see them. But when any one of us are in the tree together, you're just locked in as the hunter, or you're locked in as the cameraman, and it's kind of automatic no matter what.
Well, to give credit, I mean, this didn't happen overnight.
No.
We've we've learned the hard way. We've practiced. You learn, of course, as family and friends of each other, it's easy to kind of coach and manipulate what you hope to happen. But we rehearse too.
Yeah, in the stand, true.
In the stand, if he comes from here, what do you see that I don't see? It's so often that, you're watching one of these shows and the camera angle, even though it's a couple, 3-4 feet away, it doesn't look like a clear shot to the hunter, or vice versa, where the hunter can't get a clear shot at vitals and the camera can see, and you're going, why aren't you shooting, or whatever. So we do communicate and walk ourselves through that, because as you know, everything is so unpredictable. In the heat of the moment, you want to be as ready as you can. But we didn't get here overnight.
No, that's for sure.
We pride ourselves on, quite frankly, a lot of mistakes made.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to happen again, but you try to learn from them so that you don't make them again.
Yeah, and I mean, that it also comes from hunting with you and my dad, and we were below you, in between your feet, as 6, 7, 8-year-old little boys, and watching arrows fling over our head, and now it's kind of reverse, whatever. But we've kind of gone through the ringer, so to speak. It hasn't been for a lack of growing pains along the way. There's no doubt about that.
That's why it's so darn rewarding when it comes together.
Right.
Whether we're with each other. So darn rewarding whether we're together or or a solo hunt.
Oh, for sure.
When it comes together and you actually have multiple angles and you've got the main camera and the shot's off, let alone did you get him to go down on film, it's like,
and I think for us, like, we're trying to capture a moment that is so unscripted and not repeatable. Like, you can't go back and remake a moment that is the moment of truth. And no disrespect to some of the other shows and stuff, but there's production involved. Like, there is. With us, like, we're trying to capture a moment in real time and do it one time and one time only. So whether we have a cameraman or whether it's just self-filming in multiple different angles, that's our kind of value proposition, and that's what we bring to the table, because those moments growing up were so intense and important to us that we want to be able to bring other people along in real time. And that's not always easy. It's not always easy.
Well, I mean, we share the stories that have been great, good, and
not so good.
Not so good.
Right.
Ask me how I know.
Well, and you can't have the ultimate good and the ultimate highs of the hunting aren't as high without getting kicked in the pecans every once in a while
100%.
Along the way. And that's just the fact of the matter. So with our content, like, you gotta roll with us. You gotta ride the waves. Sometimes you're at the bottom and you're gonna feel it, and sometimes you're at the top and you're gonna feel it too.
And I think it's important because we want you to feel it, especially when we're at the bottom, because it's bow hunting, and it's easy to watch some of these production shows and just I want to. This is so unreal or untouchable, because you're sitting at home watching these giant bucks, and all of a sudden the arrow goes through, and then you watch it go down, and hey, it's over. We're trying to create a story that you can live with us, and it's probably, in my world, equally as important, the bad ones, or the ones that not bad because you didn't harvest, if that's,
or the outcome is not what you wanted.
What you wanted, but an unfortunate mistake. You got busted. You didn't hit record. You didn't, do something. You dropped an arrow off your rest. I mean, all these things happen, and it's bow hunting, and it sucks because you wait for so long for that opportunity, and you've planned it out. You've sat in that stand, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe all day, and you only saw one deer, and it was him at 4:30, and it's time for pay dirt, and it blows up because of something. Your stand creaks. We've all been there. And that's, to me, the reality of why we appreciate our following and showing it to you guys, because it's happened to you, it's happened to us, and hopefully it doesn't happen often.
Yeah, but it is it is the growing pains and the highs and lows of bow hunting. And sometimes you can do everything right. You can literally do everything right in the moment, and it doesn't happen. There's no other activity. I don't know another activity where you can do everything right. You can line everything up. Your scouting can be right. You can be ready, mentally prepared. In the moment, everything that you can control goes right, but something out of your control flips a switch, and then your opportunity and that moment is gone in literally an instant. It's the most gut-wrenching thing you could ever imagine, because you're like, how did that happen?
Looks like a big white tail.
Yeah. And it does sucks.
So many things have to go right
for it to go right.
Yeah. And that's why when you watch TV and stuff, you're watching something that all went right. But most of the time, honestly, it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, what happened in that, even in that week or in that hunter's world, to get to that point actually.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
fraction amount of the time.
Right.
I mean, you don't see any of the preparation. You see minimal preparation and feed or background of information leading up to it. You know, sometimes you see them planting food plots, and the next thing you know, it's November 6th, and they're in the tree, and there he is. I'm like, whoa, that was a lot went down between between June and November 6th. You know,
you don't see the 4 bucks that he busted in the previous 12 days or whatever, or bumped a deer walking in, and what all this stuff that goes wrong that's real.
Mm-hmm.
You don't normally see all that. You just see a hunt that happened successfully. I mean, even our hunts, especially self-filming, we look back on it, and we're like the ones that are successful, and you're like, man, that literally had to happen exactly like that. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, so it's bow hunting it's a crazy thing. It really is. It's a crazy sport.
I wouldn't give it up.
No.
It's the challenge, the filming challenge. I mean, the tool, utilizing it as a tool to measure where your shot's at and what to do as far as pursuing the deer afterwards and all is second to none. I mean, I would recommend a GoPro to everybody, or a POV camera. Just for that. You know, there's so many, Painted Arrow has so many different mounts that you can put your phone on there, and arguably some of the lighting is even better than the POV cameras from the new cell phones. But to measure your shot and evaluate, shot was too back, too low, too this, too that, when to go after them. It's such a phenomenal tool, but I've been challenged by friends. Why don't, on deer I boogered up, one of the best bucks of my life. And, why don't you just give up the camera, Jeff? Why don't you give up the camera? I'm like, Can't do it. I want to tell a story. I want to show you the story. I want to teach from it and learn from myself.
Right.
It's just we're that deep. It's love hate.
Go into the woods with the camera before I would go in with the camera and without my bow before I would do the other way around.
Yeah. And that's crazy because I love my bow.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it is crazy. It's so weird, but on top of that and knowing the hunt, or knowing the shot, understanding it, like for us, having like now a over 10-year just never-ending story is friggin' awesome. I mean, kids and grandkids and whatever can look back on this, and they can be on hunts like we were with Dad and Uncle Jay when we were younger. Like, can you imagine if we had some of those hunts documented? That would be insane.
Oh my gosh.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
Good thing they aren't.
Probably good thing they aren't.
That was old school. Oh my gosh. The ladder stands that were literally a platform. And we stood and you sat like literally between our boots. You couldn't. Well, if a deer came,
You
you
couldn't-
couldn't shoot on your offhand side because you couldn't turn in the stand
'Cause we were there.
Because you were there, you could only shoot forward and to your left on your strong side.
And the ladder stands were all of like 7.5 or 8 feet tall, maybe.
I mean, no harnesses. Harnesses got introduced, but it was just a belly strap.
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid you fell, you would be like a freaking pinwheel spinning.
Folded in half. Yeah, it was not
It
good.
was crazy that, we didn't even have straps when we started. That was not even a thing yet. And then
And it was any set of horns was
protrusion.
Eh.
If there was white protrusion, it was a buck. And then figuratively, literally, and harvestly.
it was crazy. It was crazy.
Gosh.
But that was, I mean, that's why we're here.
That's what got us
That's
to here.
that's why we're here.
The evolution of the sport and where it's brought us today
It's
it's awesome.
it is. Now we're in Kansas, and you're not even picking up your bow for deer that we would have literally given anything for back in the day. Literally anything to even see one like that, let alone get a damn opportunity at them.
So
Yeah,
funny.
that is true.
So
funny.
well, boys, we better go get in the bush, huh? Put your rain gear on and get ready to get wet. That's what I think.
Yeah, can't kill it from the couch. A
Can't-
wise man once said.
Can't kill him from the couch. And scrape week continues, and we're looking to fill a tag during scrape week, so we're going to go try and do that. Thank you all for tuning in to this here edition of Scrape Week Goose Chasing from Kansas. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And we'll see you back here next Wednesday.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
Yeah, that was fun.
Let's go kill a buck, boys.
Filling tags.
Peace out.
Love you.